Hi, this is Mike Durr, and this is about funds to close for FHA loans. Now, with down payment assistance programs like the Nehemiah program going away and the FHA increased requirement of 3.5% buyer contribution, then I thought it'd be important to share with you a summary of what the FHA guidelines are as regards to funds to close. Now, all funds for the borrower's investment in the property are going to have to be verified and documented. Acceptable sources of these funds include the following type things. Number one, collateralized loans. Funds can be borrowed for the total required investment. This means that the total required down payment. Sales proceeds. You can use the sales proceeds or the net proceeds from an arm's length sale of a currently owned property, and you can use that as the cash investment on your new house. Number three, sale of personal property. You, the borrower, can sell personal property items, cars, recreational vehicles, stamps, coins, baseball card collections to obtain the required funds for closing. Now, there are some additional criteria that will be involved in that. Gift funds, one of my favorites. An outright gift of the cash investment is acceptable if the donor is the borrower's relative, the borrower's employer, or a labor union, a charitable organization, a governmental agency, or a public entity that has a program to provide home ownership assistance to low and moderate income families. Now, first-time home buyers, you can actually get the money from a close friend with a clearly defined and documented interest in the borrower. The gift donor may not be a person or entity with an interest in the sale of the property, such as the seller, the real estate agent, the broker, the builder, or any entity associated with them. Trade equity. The borrower may agree to trade his or her real property to the seller as part of the cash investment. Employer's guarantee plan. I like this. Now, if the borrower's employer guarantees to purchase the borrower's previous residence as the result of relocation, then that is good source. The borrower must submit evidence of the agreement, and the net proceeds must be guaranteed. Another part about employers, employer assistance plans. If the employer, to attract or retain valuable employees, pays the employee closing costs, mortgage insurance, or any portion of the cash investment payment, this is considered employee compensation, and it's valid. Note, a salary advance, however, cannot be considered as assets to close since it represents an unsecured loan. Now, obviously, IRA, thrift savings plans, 401ks, those are all things that can be used. Stocks and bonds, again, can be used. Cash saved at home. Now, this is an interesting one. Borrowers who have saved cash at home and they're able to demonstrate adequately the ability to do so are permitted to have this money included as an acceptable source of funds to close the mortgage. Rent credit. The cumulative amount of the rental payments that exceed the appraiser's estimate of fair market rent may be considered accumulation of the borrower's cash investment. And sweat equity. Labor performed or materials furnished by the borrower before closing on the property being purchased. Now, these may be considered as the equivalent of a cash investment. Commission from a sale. This is kind of an interesting one. If the borrower is a licensed real estate agent entitled to a real estate commission from the sale of the property being purchased, that amount may be used for the cash investment with no adjustment to the maximum mortgage required. And a family member entitled to the commission also may provide gift funds to the home buyer. Disaster relief grants and loans. Grants or loans from state and federal agencies are obviously approved. Now, second liens. These are allowed whether they're soft or hard seconds. Now, I'll explain that later. Any financing other than the FHA insured first mortgage that creates a lien against the property is considered secondary financing, and it's not a gift, even if it doesn't have to be paid back. Family member lending. Now, this is kind of interesting. Family members may help with the cost of acquiring a home in the form of a gift or a loan. Government agencies, we obviously know that those are some of the entities out there that are lending money or in some cases granting money. Now, I want you to please note that some of these FHA guidelines may have additional investor and industry restrictions, so it is vital that verification is made up front prior to any actions taken. And I just want to make sure you know that we are the FHA experts. As we have said before, and I'll say it again, don't let others practice on the biggest transaction of your life. Let me guide you through your FHA or VA loan. Simply call us and let our expertise make it happen for you. of choice. Simply call me and let my expertise make it happen for you.